Hello and welcome to the Gallant Few podcast. Thursday night, the 28th of September, and now my telephone is going, which wasn't supposed to be happening. But anyway, um, you see, there's three of us. There was supposed to be four. Mark was supposed to be on, but unfortunately, for some reason, he has not made it. So I'm going to welcome everybody. Welcome tonight, Shona.
Evening, everyone. Hope everyone's well and hope everyone enjoyed that result last night. I was at the game with my nephew, so look, it's a good result. We're in the semi-final now, and looking forward to that disgusting Hampden pitch that we're gonna have. No doubt. When it came through, I saw last night. I thought guaranteed we are playing on that Sunday, and sure enough, we're going to be playing on that horrific pitch on the Sunday. So looking forward to hopefully beating Hearts, but I'm sure we've got a lot to talk about from last night too.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. But a lot to talk about. Bill, how are you today?
I'm very well, Dave. Aye. And, trying to look at the positives, because last night is a good start, but that's all that it is. We've done that before and then kind of went back to playing poorly. But it is 4 wins in a row, 4 clean sheets in a row, which I'm quite chuffed about. And actually, I thought last night we were pretty good. So, yeah, looking forward to getting into that a wee bit.
Okay, I'm going to start with some sad news. Obviously, the sad news of minute silence last night for Jim Forrest. And the people that heard were on the Daily News today, they will already have heard this, but I want to read this because I think it's very nice. It's over Jim Forrest's legacy. Amid the rush of boots and the roars of crowd, the few names echo as loudly in the corridors of Ibrox Stadium as that of Jim Forrest. Embarking on his journey with Rangers as a mere schoolboy, Forrest quickly showcased his prowess, stepping into the boots of the renowned Jimmy Miller. This was no small feat, after all. To displace a legend as a teenager requires an extraordinary calibre. His introduction alongside stalwarts like Willie Henderson, John Gregg and Jim Baxter heralded a transformative era for Rangers in the swing of the 60s. The accolades plenty. In Forrest's first complete season at Ibrox, he thundered in a staggering 39 goals, with 4 of those lighting up the 1963 League Cup triumph against Greenock Morton, setting the stage for an illustrious treble. By the 1964-65 season, his tally rose to an eye-watering 57, with a brace against Celtic in the League Cup final, adding to his burgeoning reputation. Records stumbled before him. In 1965, Forrest danced past Hamilton Academical's defence, scoring 5 times. He went on to set a new record for the most goals by a Ranger in the League Cup game, with a jaw-dropping 5 in an 8-0 rout against Stirling Albion. Though Forrest's departure from Rangers took him to Preston, he later returned to Scottish shores with Aberdeen, aiding them in clinching the 1970 Scottish Cup. His footballing journey saw him grace pitches from South Africa to Hong Kong, ultimately drawing the curtains on his career with San Antonio Thunder in the US. As reported by BBC Sport, the legendary figure, who amassed a staggering 145 goals in just 163 appearances for his boyhood club, has passed away at 79. His legacy, however, remains etched in Rangers' illustrious history. I think you two are, well, I know you two are probably far too young for ever having seen Jim Forrest. I barely saw him. I was a young kid, so I don't remember an awful lot about him. But if you look at his statistics, Bill, absolutely fantastic statistics.
Yeah, do you know what's funny? I said to Shona before we come on air, I'm too young to remember him. So, Shona, you're definitely too young to remember him. So, Davey, I guess you're maybe showing your age there.
Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it comes to everybody this age, Bill. And the older you get, the stiffer you get. So it's all going to come to you. At least I hope it's going to come to you. I hope you all make this age. Anyway, I see Mark's just come in. Well, welcome, Mark. How are you?
I'm a poo-poo. So I had a better everybody set.
Your microphone's no good. Mark, your microphone's no good.
Well, give me 2 seconds and they'll come out and they'll come back in, right?
Okay. Well, we'll go on. We'll go on to just rest in peace, Jim Forrest, and all the strength to his family and friends. So we'll go on to the game last night. After the booing at the Motherwell game, a crowd of 35,420 turned up. Bill, was that expected, or do you think that's to do with the booing, or was it the weather and the sort of a less importance in the game?
Do you know this? I think it's maybe a bit of both. There might have been some folk decided to stay away just because of the way that the team's been playing lately, try and make a bit of a statement. But equally, a miserable, wet weeknight in a game against Livingstone. Yeah, you don't know. I think it's a bit of both, Dave. I know certainly. Like I don't really know what the weather was like in Glasgow last night. I watched the game for the comfort of my living room, but I know the weather up here was just absolutely horrid. So, I might have been tempted to stay away last night as well.
Do you have good weather up there?
For a couple of weeks, July, August kind of time, it can be no bad. It maybe gets up above 10, which is okay.
Yeah. Let's just go and get into the game now. The game came out, we started with Butland, Tav, Goldson, Davies and Yilmaz, Cifuentes, Lundstrom, Jack, Seema, Lammers and Ruth. Shona, are you surprised at that? Any surprises there? 4 changes, I believe, from the Motherwell game.
Well, I think the biggest surprise for me was obviously Yilmaz coming in for Borna Barisic. I didn't really see that one coming, but I thought Yilmaz was absolutely outstanding yesterday, so fair play to him. He came in and what a game he had, and obviously we'll probably go into his goal. That was absolute peak. Well, should I say it was a bit of a topo, wasn't it? But it was a good one from outside the box. So no, I think Yilmaz for me was probably the biggest surprise, and that was probably the biggest surprise for David Martindale as well. I think he expected Borna Barisic to start, and obviously Rangers just to be pinging in crosses all game. But I think as we go on and talk about the game, it wasn't just what Yilmaz was doing with the ball; it was what he was doing without the ball as well. I thought he was outstanding at times. He was playing that kind of sweeper role when the two guys were going up for corners, and there was a couple of times when we broke. So I thought he was the one to watch yesterday. Between him and Seema, very very close for man of the match. But I think Redvan just deserves it for me. So, but no, apart from that, I think the rest of the team kind of showed itself. I thought Lundstrom and Jack would probably come in, but just because of their experience. And like we know that this obviously winning this cup is massive. We have to win this cup. There's absolutely no doubt about it. So I was no surprised to see a little bit more experience come in there, just purely because of how important this game is for Michael Beale and the team, and obviously for the fans as well. Because as you know, winning games, that's all the fans want at the moment, and 4 in a row so far. So I think there's quite a lot of positives to take from last night. I think some of the movement and some of the play was good. So I think the starting lineup for me was probably just about right.
Yeah, Mark, I'll come on to you. You didn't want Tavernier in the team, I don't think. What did you think of the team?
Right, how's my voice first of all?
That's okay now.
Yeah, back to my usual annoying voice then. Well, I was surprised to see Radvan on. I was glad Radvan came on. You know what I think of Borna Barisic. Tav's the same. There's no way that Tav's going to get dropped unless he's injured. We all know that. Doesn't matter how bad he plays. He was probably the poorest man on the pitch on the Rangers side yesterday. But that's the only complaint I've got for yesterday. A lot of people are still a bit cheesed off about the performance. I thought the performance was pretty decent. It was by far a vast improvement of what we've been having to watch over the last few weeks now. So I can't complain. We're doing it the bare bones now. And the best it is, it get worse. So it's going to be one of the couple of weeks that we're going to have to just put on whoever we've got and who Bill is going to trust to keep him on a job, because that's what's happening right now. It doesn't matter how many we win. There's too many fans out there that don't like him, that want him out, and they're just hoping to say, I told you so. And I could probably be put in that category as well, but I don't want me to go. But I think it's going to inevitably happen, because the first time that he loses a game, and if that lot don't lose any games or they drop points, it's going to put even more pressure on him, because as soon as we go 9 points behind them, if we go 9 points behind them, it's going to, his job's just basically gone, because need to play them 3 times. And right at this moment, I don't think any of us would turn around and say, I will definitely beat them. And I hate to be doom and gloom, especially if we won 4-0. But we need to remember the standard who we're playing against. We're playing against Liverpool. And Liverpool, I wish we were playing against Liverpool. Liverpool. Aye, right, Mark. Livingston. I may as well just go to my bed, by the way. The Livingston, they weren't a good team. They proved that. I like Martindale. I've got a wee soft spot for Livingston for how they've managed to stay in this league with the funds that they've got is absolutely bloody amazing. But we've seen the week before, the couple of days before, how they played against that mob. They let Timmy 10 men absolutely cuff them, and they did. That mob destroyed them. I thought Martindale maybe set up a lot more defensive, and we managed to get through with a pretty decent. At least we scored 4 goals, so we can't complain at that. But it's a week in, week out for the team, the squad, and for Bill, I think, you know. I don't know. I know I'm sorry for being so bloody downhearted on this, folks, but it's just really, really hard now, because I don't know. I'm not confident. That's the thing. I hate saying that. I'm just not confident. Sorry, Davy.
No problem. Bill, one of the things with the starting lineup that sort of had jumped out at me at the time was normally for a League Cup game, the second goalkeeper would be given the choice of the place. Robbie McCrory wasn't. Does Bill not like McCrory, or do you think McCrory will be chapping on the manager's door, wondering why?
Possibly. I can't remember if Bill did that after he came in last season. But I know, for the last couple of years, we had that thing of we've got a cup goalkeeper, and you don't really see a lot of teams doing that, I don't think. I mean, to be fair to Robbie McCrory, like at the end of last season, I thought he hadn't really done anything wrong, and that he deserved the chance to stay as number 1 until he started making mistakes or whatever that meant he needed to get dropped. Don't get me wrong, really impressed with Butland, think he's a fantastic keeper, but I always felt it was a bit unfair on McCrory because I didn't really think he'd done anything wrong. So will he be chapping the manager's door? I would expect that Michael Beale or any other manager, if there was any sort of expectation around the place for putting McCrory in and McCrory didn't get put in, I would expect the manager would already have had that conversation before the game. I wouldn't think he would need to wait until after the game or whatever, or after the squad was picked, and then have McCrory chap his door. Just on the starting lineup, found it a bit strange that we basically started with a back 7 playing Lundstrom and Jack in front of the defence. I get with injuries, but do we really need that against Livy? As it was, I actually thought we controlled the game and the midfield strolled it. Would have liked to have seen us look a bit more attacking, but appreciate that some of our really good creative midfielders are out injured.
Yeah, well, I think we've had that discussion quite a lot. Should we be playing with Jack and Lundstrom at Ibrox when we did have other players that could have been in there. Shona, moving on to the goals, we'll get there to the goals. The Livingstone chief is absolutely furious with the first goal. If I remember right, Sima was racing out with the right back, and in my view, he pushed him. I'm going to be honest. I think he pushed him. I think it was a foul. What was your impression of it? Do you think it was a foul, or do you think it's one of these things that happen?
Oh no, it was definitely shoulder to shoulder, was it not, David? I'm joking. No, I'm joking. It was a foul. That was one that we definitely got away with. Like, I did think he went down a wee bit too easy, but like, I think nowadays in football they're usually given. I think that's been happened to us quite a few times, and I think Tav was lucky at one point as well with one of their players. So no, I think we definitely got away with one there. So not quite shoulder to shoulder, but like it's just a tiny wee nudge, and I think he pretty much made the most of it. So. But no, like, fair play to Seema. I thought it was an absolutely brilliant goal. I thought he took it very, very well. And do you know what? I'm beginning to notice this boy does not want the ball played into feet. He wants it played in front of him. And as soon as he gets the ball played in front of him, his composure for that goal was really, really good. I thought there was no way the goalkeeper was going to get to it at all. He didn't really have that many options either. So his only option was to try and shoot. And I've just learned today as well he can actually play with both feet. So I didn't even know that as well. So look, I thought he actually played quite well out in that left hand side. We've actually seen Seema more down the right hand side, but knowing now he's 2-footed, I thought he cut in well for that goal. And honestly, that was some finish. And do you know what? It's not the first time he's had a really decent finish, is it? So this boy is definitely capable of it. And I looked at a couple of stats earlier on, and he's now nearly got double the goals than what Kent did all last season. Look, I understand that Ken wasn't at it last year, but for me, if you want a winger in your team, he has to be scoring goals. And at the moment, that's what Seema was doing for me. And yeah, I think he was very close to not getting man of the match ahead of Ridvan yesterday. I think some fans out there will probably say that was probably Seema's best performance in a Rangers jersey. I think it was what he was doing off the ball, not just on the ball. He was doing his pressing. He was tracking back at times as well. And I just thought that we did really, usually our attacks come down the right hand side of the pitch. We rely on Tav a lot more. But I thought yesterday, a lot of the attacks were coming down like the likes of where Ridvan was and the likes of where Seema was. So, look, it was very refreshing to see that Seema's obviously managed to get 2 goals. That'll obviously help his confidence. And I think it was very close that Desir's never got his goal, because I think that would have helped him. But good on Seema, went in and it deflected into the goal. But I think Desir's will be a wee bit annoyed about that one, because for me, that's the one thing that Desir's needs in his game. If he doesn't start scoring goals, you know what the Rangers fans are like. They're not going to like this boy. They're going to end up thinking he's our third striker. So, look, well, for me, Seema had an absolute belter of a game. He was just in the right positions. And like I said, he definitely loves this kind of, and I think exactly the same with Desir's. I think he doesn't want the ball into feet. I think he wants to run off you. He needs to learn the offside rule, mind you, but I think he likes that kind of ball where it's kind of played in front of him. So, look, we'll wait and see what happens there. But for me, I thought Seema was brilliant yesterday.
Well, he can maybe get offside lessons from Alfredo Morelos, or maybe not. Mark, what did you do? I think it's pretty universal that virtually everybody thinks it was a foul except the referee and VAR, to be honest.
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, Stephen Craigan said it was a definite, and it wouldn't have got used if it was against Motherwell. So obviously it was definitely 100% a push. No, seriously, it's two of them are Timmy going at speed. Seema comes in really fast. He does touch him. Is it enough for the way that he dived? No, it's still a foul though. But the weird thing is if you watch it back, the boy doesn't even complain there and then. He just gets up right away and starts running, chasing after him. And it's not until Seema scores that then the boy's like, referee. So I think maybe if the boy had said or stayed down, I think maybe then VAR maybe have come in and said, no, that was. But we see this week in, week out, with defenders doing it. Tavernier and Golson are murder at doing that. With somebody's at their back, the first thing they feel the touch of the back, they go down. It's only a matter of time before that happens. What happened to Livy is a referee just goes, nah, get up, you dived. Because that's what I think it was really, really stupid they get the defender. I don't know the boy's name, but it should not have went down so easy. But as I said, it's a foul. But Seema took it in and he placed it perfectly, and it's a good goal. So you can't take that away from him. So I'm still on the fence with Seema. the new. I know Shona's all happy with him, but I don't think he's had enough consistency yet. We've seen a couple of games where he's been absolutely chronic, and the only reason he got away, but I can't even remember the game now, where he scored, and the rest of the game he was absolutely terrible. The goal was the only thing he did, so we can't. I'm still on the fence with him, and I'm still the same with most of the new signings coming in. The only one, the same as Shona, with me, is with Essers. I want to believe you can do it. I've said it in here umpteen times. I can see something there in Essers, but I don't know what it is. It's either he's just not fitting into the style of Scottish football and it doesn't suit him, and it never will, or he's trying too hard. It just seems to be, you can see the frustration in his face. You can actually see it, and you seen it the last game he was coming off. He looked so pissed off, but I think he was more pissed off at himself in his performance, because I think he knows he can do better, but it's just he needs to prove it, and the same as second goal and all. And I think I said in chat, it goes, Dessers will be raging that never came through to him. It's like he's like, bollocks, because it was going to be a tap in for him. But so it was just, it was, I don't know, there's just one player only has proved that he's good enough to be here, and that's been Buckland. And we you spoke about earlier on about the goalkeeping situation. Bill is not going to drop him because he needs this cup. He needs to win every game until anything happens. I feel sorry for McCrory, but you don't get in, pal. Buckland's their number one, and he stays as number one in every competition, unless he's not fat enough to play, because he has been the one limelight for Rangers that have helped us over the last 4 games now. Because if that was any other goalie, I think we maybe have dropped either goals or points by now. So you need to take it for that. But to your original question, it was a foul to Livingstone.
Yeah, I can understand why the Livingstone Chiefs pretty angry about it, and I must admit, if it had been against Rangers, then I don't think I would have been very happy. I think I would have been shouting at the television as well. So we'll give that one to them. But let's face it, they say these things are leaving up over the whole season, and we've had some bad decisions against us. So which have also led to goals, or led to goals being chalked off more. So, and I think the game was PSV. You were talking about that Seema scored the bend ball as well into the back post. So
that's a great eye. Thanks, Davey. I couldn't remember. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. Anyway, the game stayed the same way. On you go.
Just to get in there, but what else does Seema do in the 10th minute against Livingston in the last game in the season, or the one before that? You know?
No, on you go.
He scored in the same minute at the first when we played against Livingston in the season.
Okay, yeah, but Seema's had quite a few goals. I think he's getting credit for the goal. Was it not last week, but the game before? Was it where him and Davies kicked the ball at the same time virtually? So I think he get the credit for that one. So I mean, he's doing well if you look at the stats. But as Curry says, he's had a couple of absolutely terrible games where I thought, can he even play football? But obviously the team wasn't functioning that great at that time either. But the game went on. They got to half time, which I think they were aiming for, with the score at 1-0. Then they come out for the second half, and I actually thought Livingstone were starting to get into the game. And I was actually starting to get worried, and you were starting to get the old critical moments coming up, but thinking this is not going to end up good. And all of a sudden, playing the ball along the back, Yilmaz gets the ball, and then he runs and he runs and he runs and he runs, And I don't know what happened to the Livingstone players. Anyway, Bill, I'll let you finish the story.
Well, pokes it for 20 yards, doesn't he? And it goes into the bottom corner. Somebody should have been on him. You know, if that's a guy doing that to Rangers, you're absolutely ripping it, aren't you? Why isn't anybody going to him? He's done well though. I think he had a fantastic game last night. That's the best we've seen Red Van, and we've not seen a lot of Red Van, but that's the best we've seen Red Van. I think he played really well, and what I like about the guy is every time he's on the ball, he's just looking to drive us forward. You know, pick it up, run with it, take a man on, cuts inside as well as going down the line. You know, he's maybe no quite got the crossing that Barisic has got, but his crossing's decent. But you know, like that goal last night, that's just an example of right. I've got the ball. I'm going to make something happen, and it was wonderful, just absolutely wonderful to watch. Kept going. Nobody got near him. Nobody closed him down. Nobody made a tackle, and then the wee toe poke. I just thought that was amazing. Just it was like, you know, when you were about 7 and you were kicking the ball about at school, and you were just hitting wee toe pokes like that. That's what it was like. It was fantastic. Shame that he's come off later on, and I think going by what I've seen today, it's maybe just been cramp or something, and he's supposed to be okay for the next game. I don't know. We'll see. But I just really pleased for him. First goal, and hopefully he kicks on for here.
See, I think as well that part of the thing is it was him that was Yilmaz that gave the ball through to Sima for what was judged not a foul. Whereas I think at that moment, I think Barisic would have probably turned back and gave the ball to the central defenders so as it could start again. And I think that's the difference. Yilmaz cuts inside, whereas Barisic has got a one-trick pony. Although I must admit, he came away with a beautiful ball later on.
That was excellent.
Yeah, that was a fantastic ball. I can't remember who it was to written off, but was it to Dessers at that time? I can't remember.
It was Sima for the third goal, Dave.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That was the 66th minute. Then we went on. Now, come on, Shona. I know you mentioned that Sima scored a second one. Sima's not going to get that goal. That cross from Sima was never going to go anywhere near the goal. So I'm afraid that's got to go down as an OG.
Oh, really? When I was at the game, they did say that the goal went to Sima, so maybe that's changed things. I know it took a massive deflection. Look, I think Dessers will be absolutely fuming that he never got that ball played in quicker. I think that's just obviously the one thing that we're lacking at the moment, because I did see a lot of like one touches within the game. I think we just need to get that up in attack. And as soon as we can get those one touches, so many times, even the likes of Dessers as well, he took that time when he had that opportunity in the box, and we're just like, just shoot. And I think there was 2 or 3 touches, and then the ball went away from him. Same with Lammer as well. He made a really good run down one of the wings, and he went and crossed it right across the box. I think there was about 3 or 4 guys that just didn't want to take a shot. So no, I thought the goal yesterday against him, I thought it was very lucky. But look, I think at the end of the day, that probably would have ended up in a goal. If it wasn't going to be Sima, I think it probably would have been Dessers if he was able to get that ball across. But look, I think what I can see from Dessers so far is, look, guys, I'm not on all means trying to stick up for this guy, because I do think he probably will end up to be our third striker. But I do see him getting into decent positions if he can just stay on side and get in, because the amount of times there was a ball played across yesterday, and as you say, look at the Sima goal, it was just dead on a plate for him to put that in the back of the net. And I think I remember, did he not have a really good chance where the goalie made a really good save? Was up at Ross County or St Johnstone when Roof played the ball over the top, and he did the right thing. He headed the ball down, but the goalkeeper made a really good save. So, and I think he's had a few assists, but I just think he's just lacking in confidence. And like I said, when that ball was played across to him, he should have just taken it first time. And it just shows you, taking those too many touches, that just shows that you're lacking in confidence right now. So, but he's got 3 games probably now in a row that he's going to have to probably step up. So this is for him to take his chance now against Aberdeen. There's look, this is going to be a massive step up from Livingstone at the weekend. There's absolutely no doubt about it. I'm sure we'll want it. But look, no, I thought the Sima goal was a bit of a lucky one. But look, you get them, you don't get them. At least they made the attempt in one goal, and it was either going to be Dessers or it was either going to be Seema for me.
Okay, so we'll move on to the third goal. Was a cross from Tavernier, and then Scott Wright, beautiful dummy, I must admit that. And Jack took the ball in his stride and side-footed it into the net. Beautiful, beautiful shot and goal as well. Mark, is Wright better when he doesn't touch the ball?
Aye, of course. That cross was the only thing that Tavernier done the whole game. I don't know how many shots he put in that half the first man, how many times he lost the ball. We were talking about the Livingstone boy getting down too easy. Tavernier done the exact same thing, but he got away with it. And the best it wasn't even as much as a foul than the original one supposedly was. But that was their step over. No chance. There's no way that he's got that in his locker. He missed that. Come on, just put your horn up. He missed that. He meant to get a hold of that, but he's that shite that he missed it. No, I suppose. When you look at it, he does. He actually dummies it. But how he knew that anybody was going to get that, because I need to try to do this from memory now. The two people that were behind him were outside the box. So it's still a wee bit of travelling. And I thought it was Jack and there was somebody else. I can't remember who else was in the middle waiting. The two of them were outside and Jack ran forward to hit it. So it's just been for me, it was a fluke. But I will take it. It's something we've needed. We wanted a high scoring game. Was it a brilliant performance? No. Was it a decent performance? Aye. Put it this way, I enjoyed watching the game. That's the only thing I can say. I actually enjoyed it, especially the first half, although we were only 1-0 up. I thought we played really well. We were good passing, crisp passing, there was movement. But then we started to fall into old habits again. And I think it was Blue Horizon was saying it started to get a wee bit passing at the back again between each other. But I don't know if something was said or something done, unlike what happened in the Motherwell game. They came back into it again and they started doing the same again. And I'm glad you never came to me for the last goal, because I was like, what? Dear. I'm happy. I know a lot of people will be happy. They don't see what they want to see. They don't think that the team. How can I'm trying to think of a word to put this. They don't see the Rangers that they want yet. But I think it's got a lot to do with how much people have turned against Bill now. That's my feeling anyway. It's so hard when a manager at any club, especially when it comes to us and the other side, if a manager's not doing it and the crowd turn against you, I'll tell you what, it's hard to get them back again. Really hard to get them back again. And for me, for Bill to really get every fan behind him again, he needs to win every game in the league. He needs to win the cup, Europe, decent results. He does. I don't think he needs to win, but he needs to make sure that the team put in a decent performance, and he needs to try and close the gap and hope that lot start dropping points. Because if they start dropping points, the pressure's back on them again. Especially if we're playing with bare bones now. That's the thing. We're playing with players that would never be on the park. They knew if it was for injuries. We're losing. Is it 6 first team members that would 100% be in that team? So it's like try to be optimistic and try to be not too pessimistic now. But it's got to be an uphill struggle for me. It really does. But we'll see. But I'm not quite as but I was 3 weeks ago when I was saying get him to out of here. I'm not that bad now. I've calmed down. Only took me 3 weeks. No bad.
Yeah, well, I'll name the list that you've just. Well, at least I was going to name the list that you've just mentioned. It's Todd Cantwell, Nicholas Raskin, Kieran Dowell, Rabi Matondo, Danilo, Tom Lawrence, Roof, and possibly Yilmaz. So that's quite a big loss to your team, really. And the only thing is, Michael Beale said that Kieran Dowell and possibly Nicholas Raskin could be coming back either for the Aberdeen game or for the game next Thursday. So
Davey,
that is a
Dave,
good
sorry
news.
for interrupting, mate. I thought Cantwell was due back as well.
I think Beale said at the beginning it was 3 to 4 games or 3 to 4 weeks. I'm not sure now in that one.
Yeah.
But it was 3 to 4. But you know, Rangers, 3 to 4 games means about 10 games, and if they say 10 games, then you know they're out for the season. So that's the sort of a way Rangers sort of work in the last few years, and it'll be 24 hours, or then you know, I mean, it's the same with Lawrence. Last year it started with 3 games and then it ended up the full season. So that's just the way. Obviously, Lawrence broke down a few times. They tried to get him back in, and he broke down a few times. But it's quite good news that the injury that players are starting to come back. What do you think, Bill? Do you think we obviously need these players back?
Aye. It's funny, isn't it? Like last season, you know, and when Gio was here, like getting to the Europa League final and all these players out and all of that, it just seems to have been season after season. And we got to the start of this season, and actually, basically our entire squad was fit. You know, they were all fit to play, and we were all, oh, magic, you know, we've got this full squad, we've got these great players that have come in, all of that. And we had all that optimism. And this is only about 8 weeks ago, Dave. This isn't a long time ago, you know. And now we're back in that position again. I don't understand it. And, you know, last year oh God, I can't remember the club doctor's name now that came back after having been away. And remember, we were all really pleased with that, thinking, oh, that's a great bit of business. You know, we'll get past this problem of these injuries. But it just seems to be exactly the same, you know. And like the difference will be, right, for what you were saying, if we're told that somebody's to be out for 3 or 4 weeks, that'll be 10 weeks. So we'll see if that actually happens this season, because that's what's happened the last couple of seasons where we've been told somebody's going to be out for a short spell and, you know, been out for the entire season. We're only a few weeks into the season at the moment, and you know, we've lost these players. So let's see. Hopefully, we get them back fairly quickly, because we bloody need it. You know, we are going to be bare bones before very long. And that point I made earlier on about, you know, starting with a defensive lineup, it's kind of out of necessity. We were playing Lundstrom and Jack together last night. I don't know if Beale's madcap enough to start a game against Livingstone like that when everybody else is fit, when he puts it past him. But you know, it's like that. We're going to be more and more like that, where we're asking these guys to step in games where it doesn't really belong. We're going to have to play kind of formations and styles and systems that we shouldn't really be playing. For by the point that we still don't really know what Bale's system actually is. But you know, if you think to stuff like that run to the Europa League final where we were playing with Joe Aribo as a centre forward, I'm worried we're going to end up like that again, you know, with bizarre players and bizarre bits of the pitch, and it'll be bloody Scott Wright up front on his own. Yeah, it's concerning.
Yeah, well, I mean, Rangers have always sort of had that in the European finals, because I think it was 67. We ended up playing Roger Hind up front, and Alex Willoughby was dropped out, and we ended up playing Roger Hind, who was originally a centre half, but had scored a few goals for the B team, so they put him in up front against Bayern Munich. And Rangers, it's actually a final Rangers should have won. But anyway, I'm going to come back to you now, Shona. Shona, I don't want you to go streaking. I don't want you to be our first streaker on the Gallant Few podcast.
Please do.
Todd Cantwell, he went on to social media yesterday, and he had put up a photo of himself, and it said "missing it," which meant that obviously that he was missing the football. I think he's sort of been, I think he was originally said to be only 3 or 4 weeks or something like that. But now it's after the international break, I believe, that he's due back. Todd, what a guy, yeah?
Well, if he wants to take my number, I'm sure I can sort out his injury for him and maybe get him back for the game next week. So, like, if I can't lose him, I'm sure he's listening in. Do you know what I mean? That's it. That's the whole point in this game, isn't it? So, yeah, if he wants to take my number, feel free and send me a wee private message and I'll sort that injury. No, from what I've heard, actually, I've got one of my friends who actually, she actually sits in one of the more expensive seats in Ibrox, and she actually saw him still limping about last week. So I do think he's probably not going to be back till after the international break. But he's definitely the type of guy that we've been missing, that kind of creativity in midfield. I have to admit, I thought Lammers actually stepped up his game yesterday. I thought his pressing on and off the ball was really, really good. Look at us against Livingstone. Obviously, I think he'll probably play against Aberdeen. It's going to be a totally different game against Aberdeen. It's their cup final. So, they'll be putting everything into this game to try and win it. So, look, I expect Lammers to try and do the same at the weekend, because at the moment, if Lammers has got that opportunity at the moment, because if Cantwell's not back to the international break, so he's got to take it whilst he can. So, but no, I think Cantwell's just been a massive, massive loss for us. I think that creativity, that swagger, the guy that gets us up, the crowd, the fans up as well. I think just at the moment he was probably lacking a couple of goals when he came in. He obviously was doing a lot on and off the ball, but he is a fan's favourite, isn't he? And I think he's exactly what the fans have been missing. I know everyone's been having a go at Bill over the past few weeks, but look, at the end of the day, I did say like a few weeks ago, if he starts winning games, that's all we can ask for as fans. But what we want is we want energy on that pitch, and we also want a performance. Like, that's all we ask these guys to do. So I was looking at the game the other night, yesterday, and that was we had 15 shots on goal and only 6 on target. That's not good enough for our front three. So look, as long as these guys start scoring goals, that's all we're asking for as fans, to put that effort in and start scoring goals, and we'll soon be back on their side. So, but look, at the end of the day, I think I'm going to be missing Cantwell for a wee while longer, but like, I'm sure he'll private message me soon, guys. So I'll keep you updated.
Well, somebody said there it's you that's injuring the players, but it actually surprises me. You've not been over to the other side of the city, even belting into Maida for injuring them. I thought you would have been over there for doing that.
Oh, he is.
Anyway,
he is on my hit list. Don't you worry, he is on my hit list. So, but no, priority is Cantwell.
Anyway, Beale yesterday as well, when he was doing his interview, they come on about Alec Lowry, and Beale said, "Yeah, Stephen Naismith is really looking after him, doing well. It was a fantastic goal." And then he made the point, but he won't be playing against us, so, which made me quite laugh. Yeah, in a way, I think it's a shame that he can't play against us, because I would quite like to see what he's going to do, and he's obviously not getting game time for us. He's not getting game time there. Does that really say something, that he's not even getting game time there? Although he did show absolutely fantastic composure to score the goal that put them through.
There's something going on with him, Davy. He started playing with Hearts the first couple of games, then he get dropped, as you said, and he was getting benched for a lot of the games. I don't know what's wrong with the lad. There must be something there. That's been 4 managers now that have. He looks a great player. He looks confident. He is confident. I met the young boy about a year and a half ago at a party, and I spoke to him, and he said he's a really nice laddie. He talked to. He didn't seem like he wasn't like some of these guys out there that think there's something. He was just like a normal young boy, but there must be something going on, whether it's his application in training or it's his attitude. I don't know, But it's obviously he's got ability, and he proved it when he came on and scored against. God, who were they bloody playing? I can't even remember who they were playing now. Who did he score against?
Hearts against. That's a good one. I watched the game as well.
So did I. Well, some of it. Oh, that's shocking! Total brain fart. Oh,
Yeah, St. Mirren, was it?
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Right.
Yeah, I think it
No,
was.
it was Kilmarnock. Right. Thanks,
Okay.
Nicholas.
That was
I'll
it.
say Nicholas because I wouldn't say that. And Robert, thank you too. I can't even. God, I should have stayed. I really should have stayed in my bed today. Jesus, jump! Cheers, Jimmy, for that. And Prime and all. Everybody knows except us 4 idiots. Great. And we've got a cheat day, Timmy. Day a pod, and we charge you 99p for this. Oh, God.
No, this one's
by the
free.
way, that reminds me. Could I just thank Cammy as well, who donated 5 the things that you get. Oh God, what they called? I'm having an absolute bloody nightmare tonight. And gifted subs. That's what it is. God, I'm having a total Borna Barisic, aren't I? Are shocking, absolutely shocking. Like we were, but other. There must be something that they can do with him, but until we find out what's wrong, whatever's the reason he's not getting as much game time, there must be a reason, but we don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I'm in one of my. I've not got a clue. States in a. I'm in that quite often actually, but tonight I've been extra special. If there's any of the other mob watching this, I will have clipped this to bits because it's been absolutely amazing. Because oh, sorry, Davey.
The thing is with Lowry is that all the managers that have had him have said that it's consistency he lacks. He can do it on certain times, but he hasn't got the consistency to do it all the time, and that's what's keeping him out teams. So,
well, Davey, it must be in training then, because every time I've seen him play on the field, he's done it well. Not so much for the B team. When he was playing the B teams, there was a couple of games that he wasn't that great. But the majority of the time, he was the one that stood out amongst everybody. And then when he played for us in the first team, every game he played pretty decent. So it must be in training that he's not showing something. Is it lack of effort? I don't know. It's really, really weird.
yeah, well, let's hope the boy. Let's hope he comes back to Rangers and he can do it for Rangers anyway, because I think we all want to see that, and all the talent that we're bringing through the academy. Then hopefully some of it, it won't all come through, but hopefully some of it comes through. So anyway, I think we'll leave the game against Livingstone, but obviously we're going on to Hearts. It's the 5th of November, I believe. Sunday. Shona, you had a sort of a rant about us always playing at Hampden on a Sunday. Do you want to go on to screen, and so as we can note this in the history books?
Oh, it's just absolutely typical of the SFA, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Get it right up them. That's what I say. Like, look, at the end of the day, I knew this was coming. Like, we're going to get a horrible day. They're going to be playing on the other semi-final is going to be on the night before, and we're going to be playing in an absolute mud bath. So, look, let's just prepare ourselves for it. There's no doubt that's going to happen. Hampden Park is not the best of places to be in the first place. Can't stand the stadium. Can't stand the atmosphere. Can't stand the fact you're so far away from the pitch. They still not upgraded the stadium. So look, it's just typical of the SFA, and yeah, I don't really like the SFA as you can gather. So no, but I'll probably will be going to the semi-final, and I'll still probably be cheering on Rangers when I'm there. So, but no, hell mend them. Do you know what I mean? It was always going to happen that we were going to get that Sunday game. So we played an absolute mud bath, and it'll probably be a one of these games that probably either go into extra time or it'll be like a 1-0. It'll be a shite game. That's what I'm saying.
Oh well, as long as it's a 1-0 win. Bill, I know you're into shirts, so on the day, I hope this is going to work. Could we be wearing this one? What do you think of it?
Well, I wondered when you were going to put that on, Dave, because you've had it lingering there since we came on. Aye, we might well be. I did see that came out. Yes, I am into shirts. Surprised you guessed. I didn't think it was obvious at all. And I was going to say, Curry, when you start getting into one of those rants, because I know what you're like, you get into one of those rants and you get to a point where you've not got a clue what to say next and you start gibbering. Take my advice, just say something about my shirt and then mute yourself. That'll do you fine. Yes, I am into shirts. What I don't like is football clubs generally releasing strips, especially 4 strips. It's just all mere plastic that's going to end up in the ocean. So on a serious note, I seriously disagree with having a 4th strip.
Shona, what what's your idea of it?
Yeah,
You
I
be
think I
buying
quite
it?
like it actually. I think it's been. I probably won't buy it. I've already bought the first 3 strips, so and I don't think I'll be buying the 4th one. But I'm sure my nephews or anyone else will probably be persuading me to buy it for them. But look, it's just another 55 quid out of the pocket. But look, I quite like the kit actually. I think it's quite nice, and I do expect them to wear it in the Scottish Cup. To be fair, I think that's where you'll probably see it, either that or the game next week. So, look, no, I quite like the top actually. I think it's different from what we've got from the rest of them. I think it's a bit different for a 4th top, isn't it? So no, I quite like this one. So I don't know what everyone else thinks in the comments, but no, but like I won't be buying it, but I quite like it.
And Mark, what do you think of it?
Right. First time I've seen it, I'm like, do I like that or do I hate it? And I couldn't make my mind up. I was just like, right, I need to see it on somebody first before I finally decide. But I hate saying this. The more I see it, the more I bloody like it. It actually kills me thinking that I know I shouldn't like this, but I do. That's the thing. I do like it. It's just it's different. Some of the takes that people have got that I've seen in Twitter and all that, it's just like they put up pictures of bloody bus seats and shit like that, and I'm like, aye, right, come on, take the bus. But if you don't like it, nobody's forcing you to bloody buy it. It's out there. I think it's all right. Will I buy it? If I had the money, probably I would. So, aye, I think it's all right. And I like the one thing I do like. I like the collar with the button bit as well. I like that. But I'm like one of my favourite tops is the collar. I love the way I prefer collars. I don't like shirts without collars on them. But that I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10. I think that's quite good.
Just for all the Acast listeners and the Spotify listeners, I've got a photo of the new shirt up. I hope you've all seen it and know what we're talking about. So sometimes I forget that we've got people that are just listening and not seeing what we're doing. So
Davey,
anyway,
before you go on, I just seen a comment there for JD and yeah, and he said I should put my ACDC shirt back on. It shows you what my taste is like. I am not any type of fashion guru, I can assure you. As you can probably tell with the stuff that I come on with in here, I'm definitely not a Bill. I'd probably need to seek Bill's advice on something like this. So I'll leave it down to him whether he thinks it's nice or no, or whether people should actually buy it.
yeah, well, I actually quite like it. I don't know whether I like it as a Rangers shirt, to be honest with you, but I actually think it's quite nice. Certainly, if it was just a T-shirt, I would buy it, and I might buy it if it's for myself for a Rangers top. But no, it's quite nice. It's a nice design. Anyway, let's go on and talk about the wee bit from the Aberdeen game during and Saturday. Bill, what would you change in the starting lineup from the lineup that started at against Livingstone? What would you change?
Do you know this? I don't think there's much wiggle room. I think Roof's going to be out, probably. Going by the fact that he came off, and I think is it a groin problem this time?
Who cares? Who actually cares, Bill?
Oh, Tell us how you really feel, Curry. Jeez, oh. I'm not upset you that much, did I?
What?
So he'll be an enforced change, but I don't know what's he going to do. Play kind of Lammers, Seema, and Dessers as a front three, maybe, or will we get Scott Wright out wide? I don't really know. But beyond that, I can see it being much the same. If Ridvan's no fit to play, he'll play Barisic. But even if Ridvan is fit to play, he might play Barisic anyway. I think he can trust Borna Barisic. I don't have any problems with that. No, I think it'll be similar to what we saw against Livy. I think that kind of. I know I just spent the first half of tonight slagging it, but that actual central two of Lundstrom and Jack sitting in front of the defence, Beale will probably want that against Aberdeen. And I just think, this game, Aberdeen are going to be up for it. They always are. So I know we've gone out and beaten Livy 4-0, and I said at the start tonight that, that's us. We've moved on. We've played better than we did the last wee while, and it's just a start, and it's just that we've done this before, and then looked as if we were going places and then falling backwards. We need to keep it up. We weren't great against Livy. We were okay. We played some good football at times. We had a couple of shaky spells, probably either side of half time. We were a bit shaky, and I was always a bit nervous when it was only 1-0. I think we need to kick on and do better again against Aberdeen, because they'll be up for this, and they've got much better players than Livy have. And those two boys, Duke and Miowski, they've got the potential hitters. So it'll be difficult. I'm kind of quietly confident about getting a result, but I think for Michael Beale, he just absolutely needs to win that game, and every game for the next wee while for him is going to be must win.
Yeah, well, I definitely think against Aberdeen now. I think for him, if we were to lose it, which hopefully we're not going to, I think it would be back to square one from about 2 weeks ago after the Motherwell game. I think it'll be back to square one for him with that. Shona, would you go with the same starting 11, or would you go with Borna, or would you keep Yilmaz in if he's still fit?
I think you've got to start with Yilmaz. I think the way he played at the weekend, I think you probably have to start with him. I thought he was absolutely superb. I actually thought he played that sweeper role very good as well, when he's got quite a bit of pace as well for tracking back, and I think that's going to be key for us as well when we're playing against Aberdeen, because I do think they will try and hit us either with long balls over the top or on the counter attack with those two players up front. So no, I probably expect Yilmaz. I think he's probably, if he's fit, I think he's actually worked his way in there to have a starting place at the weekend. Don't get me wrong, if Bonner starts, I'm not really going to moan about it, because I do think his height will help when it comes to set pieces. So no, I expect probably the same team. The only other definitely option that's going to be is Dessers is going to come in for Roof. So no, I expect that yesterday was a step up, but see on Saturday it's got to be another level as well. We've got to go up that extra level against Aberdeen. It's their cup final. Do you know what I mean? These sheep shaggers that come down, they obviously want to win the game, and obviously 3 points is massive for us. I think that'll be a massive win for Beale. I think it'll be a massive win if we got a performance and we got the goals from the team on Saturday. I think it will take us that extra step. I think you might see a couple of fans then trying to get back on Beale's side, but we'll have to wait and see. As I says, it's a massive performance. But look, if Beale loses this game, I mean, honestly, I can't really see much anywhere back for him after that. So, look, it's going to be very tough. Do I think the board will sack him? Probably not. But I think it'll be a massive, massive kick in the teeth to go 4 games in a row, 4 clean sheets, and then to get beat off Aberdeen. I think he'll be looking at this game as probably the toughest game that we've got before the international break. So, no, I expect us to go out there and win on Saturday. I'll be going to the game as well on Saturday. So, yeah, I'll be looking forward to it when it comes. I think it's near enough a sellout, which was obviously a bit surprising as to the game last night, when it obviously been a midweek game, that probably, and the weather probably had an effect. But I see there's obviously going to be I was going to say a full stadium on Saturday. So look, you know what it's like against Aberdeen. They always come here. They always want to win. They always want to step up their game. It's their cup final. So no, I expect us to go and win on Saturday, and that can only be good for the fans and for Beale. I think if we go and win, I think you'll see a lot. I don't know if Curry agrees, but I think you probably will see a lot more fans. Maybe if they get the performance and the goals, they might take a wee bit of a step back, as to say, look here, what else can we do at the moment? I just hope, on Saturday, it's also a clean sheet, because I think that would be massive. 5 games in a row, 5 clean sheets. I think that would be huge as well. So, look, I'm hoping for a clean sheet.
Well, she's hoping for a clean sheet. Oh, there you go, Shona. You fell away there, I'm afraid.
Sorry, I'm just hoping for a clean sheet at the weekend, so we'll wait and see. But look, I'll let you crack on, because I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi at the moment. Don't know what you're laughing at, Curry. You're laughing at me, my opinions, but look, as I said.
No, sorry, Shona. You actually, the reason I'm laughing is because the exact second that you cut out was the last words were, all I want is a clean sheet. Then just cut off.
So only when Todd Cantwell's in her bed, she doesn't bother about clean sheets then, do you? Would you, Shona?
No.
Bill, that wasn't me. That was him. That was him. Blame him for that one.
Anyway,
Davy, you're a bad man.
Anyway, Mark, I'll come on to you. So you've moved places all of a sudden. Sif Juventus, what do you think of him? I've been a big critic of him. I've said a few times he doesn't even look like a football player, but I thought there was actually quite an improvement against Livingstone, and I'm really quite interested to see what he'll do against Aberdeen.
Well, I've already said to you, Davy, that me and you had different opinions on him. I've seen him before. He's a box-to-box and he's an attacking midfielder. And that's the position he played against Livingstone. I wasn't surprised he's been playing bad. He's not a central defender. He's never. I don't think I've ever seen him that position before. And I think that's what the problem's been over the last couple of weeks. Bill's just putting players in positions that they don't play in. So I think we've just seen a little bit better. Aberdeen's going to be a tough one. Score-wise, I'll wait till we all go through that. But it's got, as we always say, they always turn up against us. The majority of the time, we manage to do them over. I don't expect it to be a high-scoring game. I think it'll be really, really tight. I've not seen much of Aberdeen, but their position in the league says that they'll be playing that well. It's only the last couple of games that have had good results, so I couldn't tell you which one of their players is doing well. Shona said as well, I think Yilmaz will definitely be in. He needs to be in, unless it is more than a cramp that he had. We'll just need to wait for that. And as you said, maybe some of the players need to lumber up and go to Shona's place for the massage. Maybe she'll be able to lumber them up. They won't get as much cramp. But that's just a vicious rumour. So I'm going to keep that one out. I'll leave that up to Shona to let everybody know. And by the way, a huge thank you to one of the best contributors to all the pods again is Timmy Jim Sloan. Jim, thank you so much. 20 quid, mate. That is absolutely tremendous. That basically that's a night out for me for a fortnight. So that's not too bad, mate. Right, thank you so much, bud.
That's a dinner, you owe me, Curry.
If I can take you out for 20 quid, Shona, I'll be well happy.
Carrie, you told me that you were heating up Swiss rolling beans for Shona coming round.
I was actually, it was a McDonald's, a Happy Meal, but apparently she likes that, so I'm like, I don't want to go that far. She likes it. I need to get something. I don't know. I'll maybe make her one of my curries. That will show me how much of a real woman she is.
Anyway, let's get back on to the football. Bill, Aberdeen, would you keep the same?
I've got a feeling I was already talking about that about 5 minutes ago, was I know? But it's all right. I'm happy to talk about it. Happy to talk about it again.
I've lost the place with all these curries and all these. Anyway, what I'll say, Bill.
David, I think you should give a wee shout out for John Livingstone yesterday. I thought John Livingstone played pretty decent. I thought his passing was much more further forward, one touch pass, and I thought he controlled the back line, got into really good spaces at times. So where's the credit for John Livingstone? Davy.T, come on.
I'll tell you, if John Lundstrom plays well, I will say he plays well. I don't dislike the person John Lundstrom. I think it was here for what was it, 3 years, and he played about 6 months decent football, and that was just it. But I'll admit the last 2 games he's been absolutely decent, and apart from a shot which nearly I ended in row 48, I think. But he played well. He's played well the last 2 games. I can't deny that. And if he keeps that up, then I will start singing John Lundstrom is the best on earth. But I'm not that far yet, so I haven't learned the words right yet. So I'll just leave it at the moment. Anyway, Bill, I'm going to end up. Will you say thanks and give your score for the Aberdeen game?
Yeah, thanks for everybody coming on and watching tonight. Great banter in the comments as always. It's been really, really good fun watching you all either ripping the piss out of me and my shirts, or ripping the piss out of Curry and his curries, or I don't know what sort of abuse you've been getting, Shona, if you've been keeping an eye in the comments. Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks to everybody that's going to listen later on as well. My prediction against Aberdeen, I'm going for 2-0 Rangers, and I think Tav's going to get a goal.
There you go. You're shaking your head, Mark. I'll let you go first.
We must be getting a penalty because that's the only way he's scoring. It's going to be.
Oh, that's not fair.
Aye, it is. It's going to be a tight one. I'm going to go for 2-1 to us. I think it's going to be a really, really hard slog. And I just want to say a massive thank you to Jim Sloan yet again. That's another £20, mate. It's unbelievable, the support. It just amazes me that people do that. And Jim, you do it for a lot of pods. Thank you so much. Aye, as Shona said, much love. I think you probably prefer Shona's love to mine, though, right enough. I'm not exactly a looker. So, aye, it's going to be a tight one, Davy.
Yeah, well, I'll give mine in a few seconds. Shona, what's your idea on the score? And obviously say your goodbyes.
Well, thanks, Curry. Looks like I'm going to have a long list now. Do you know what I mean? So I'll just note them all down one by one. Will I? Who else is joining the queue? No, look here. I think it's going to be quite tight as well. But I actually think I'm going to go with Bill. I actually thought it was going to be 2-0 as well. And my first goal scorer is going to be Dessers.
So there you go.
So, yeah, I think he might get his first goal this weekend. I think the fans will go absolutely wild, and hopefully, I just hope he does get a goal because, I know he's getting quite a lot of sticks, so I'm hoping for 2-0 Rangers and a Dessers to score.
So you don't think Beale will throw a curveball and play Sima up front?
No.
Drop Dessers?
No, I think Sima will definitely play out on the left again. I thought him and Midfan linked up really, really well. I think Lammers was really good at covering back and tracking in between those players. Look, we know that Aberdeen's going to a massive step up, but for me, the massive step up is going to have to come to the defence as well. Because look, these two guys up front for Aberdeen are going to cause us problems. So look, no, but I want another clean sheet. So I'm going to stick with my 2-0, my clean sheet, and Dessers to score. Get that bet on, guys. Go on.
Yeah. Well, just to let you know that my kids won't go to an Indian restaurant because they say my curries are better. So I'll put that one in. What I think it'll be close. I think I'll actually agree with Curry. Was it 2-1? You said.
Yeah, mate. I never gave a first scorer, and I'm going to go. Oh, Dessers. Aye, let's go Dessers. Let him go in the score sheet. This will be him ready to start. This is him ready. He's going to absolutely pummel the net for the next time the rest of the season. But may as well. Let's do it.
We just agreed on something, Curry. We just agreed on something.
Aye, I'm leaving.
Well, anyway, I am going to. I'll give a scorer first. Well, obviously, Seema's too obvious, so I wouldn't go for that one because he probably will be the first goal scorer. But I will go for. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go for John Lundstrom. There you go. How about that? It's about 2 years since he scored, so he's due one.
Have you been smoking something? What have you been smoking tonight?
Yeah, I think it's all that vodka and orange that I'm drinking. That's this.
How many
Just-
bottles did you drink? Jesus, jumping.
I'm just kidding. There's no vodka in it. So anyway, I'm going to finish off, and I thank you all for listening. It's been great talking, and we will be back on. Well, obviously there'll be the morning news. I think Colin's doing it alone tomorrow. I'm not sure about that, but and then we will be back on Sunday, looking at the game on obviously Saturday, and hopefully we have all smiling faces. Thanks for listening. We are the people.